Well, my husband, who died about almost 3 years ago, about 5 years ago, when he was suffering from dementia, he got a bee in his bonnet to do Carousel for Kingsport. And where it came about, he grew up in Binghamton, New York, and this man from Endicott Johnson Shoe Company gave 6 beautiful hand-carved carousels to the cities and left enough money to keep them free for all children that rode them from then on. And Gail grew up with those carousels. So he started talking about getting a carousel for Kingsport. And in the meantime, I was saying, when pigs fly, we'll have a carousel in Kingsport. This was a ridiculous idea. So as Gail started to go downhill, and he was pushing the project, you know, it really was his last wishes that we have this carousel. And as he was getting weaker and a little bit more trouble in concentrating, he asked Reggie if Reggie would take it on as his project. And so then Reggie and the 3 other men, we called them the 4 horsemen, were the 4 original people who first got a grant, and they started it.
I'm Reggie Martin, and I'm the lead carver on the project here in Kingsport, and we're building an all hand-carved carousel for Kingsport. And when I say all hand-carved, we're starting with blocks of wood and making animals. And we're doing 33 animals for the carousel itself, as well as 2 chariots. We started our first animals in January of 2010, so we've been working almost 3 years now. Well, several of us have gone down to a Soddy Daisy, Tennessee carving school. It's called Horsing Around Carving School. It's run by Bud Ellis. And Bud has been carving these animals for about 30 years and has taught thousands and thousands of people how to do it. But the majority of our carvers have learned right here in our shop. And it's more of a hands-on, guide-as-you-go type process.
I've been working on it now for not quite 2 years. Don't lack much, just a lot of little detail. As far as the painting part of it, all the carving has been done. It's almost 6 foot at the hump. And it's mainly designed for a photo op, to where you can put the kids on the head and shoulders, and you can put the parents on the back.
We have 30 volunteer carvers carving on the large animals. We also have a number of smaller animals that we're manufacturing to go up into the sweeps of the carousel. So a total of about 42 carvers. In addition, we have about 30 painters that are working with us to paint the animals once we finish them.
They've spent a lot of time carving these animals, and they didn't want to just turn it over to somebody who might not have the same vision that they have when they were carving it. You know, we had classes, offered classes here, and basically everybody who's painting that's doing this has been trained. And so with all the animals that we're doing, we're trying to stay within whatever the carver envisioned. I've got a lot of really wonderful volunteers that are painting and doing an awesome job.
So you can see that we have probably 70, 75 all volunteer workers working on the carousel right now.
My husband and I carved this horse. We had a lot of input, a lot of help from other carvers. This is our first horse that we've ever carved. This logo here is the old logo of the city of Kingsport. And so we've named this horse King, short for Kingsport.
These are called rounding boards. They will fit into the outside of the top of the carousel. Each one progresses up through history from the beginnings of Kingsport up until 1956, which is the year that the carousel was actually built. The history of Kingsport, right there on display.
For a community to pull together like Kingsport has, strictly volunteer, it's amazing.
It was about a year after my husband died, and I'd finished writing all the thank you notes and dealing with all the stuff and doing everything you have to do when a member of your family dies. And I decided, I think I'll carve a carousel animal. And when I walked in one day and said, I think I'll make my horse a unicorn, all these guys said, what? You know, I said, all little girls love unicorns. So now I'm doing a squirrel. It'll be a red squirrel that is going to be in the rafters of the carousel. It's called a sweep animal. And then when I finish this, I'm going to do a pig with wings. Because in my opinion, the pig has landed when that carousel starts.
Well, it's just simply a wonderful project for Kingsport. I think it's a project that not only the children will love, because it is going to be a beautiful carousel, but it will be something that their parents and their grandparents will appreciate over the next 100 years, because we fully expect this to last 100 years. In fact, I'm going to stick around and see that it does.